east of Johannesburg. So, Mapaila, let's talk about the relationship between the SACP and the alliance partner, more so the ANC. Will that be on the agenda as well?
Well, we'll discuss the state of, as we discuss the state of our revolution, we'll also discuss the state of the revolutionary forces, in particular the alliance. The alliance is okay in terms of the programs, but implementation has been quite wanting. The relationship with the ANC has taken a dip, and I think it's an issue we'll definitely look into. It's not at the state where it should be. Yeah,
but the issue of the implementation of policies, it's something that came out of their National Policy Conference last week. Even the president of the ANC was saying that he's not happy that they put on the table beautiful policies, but the implementation thereof is a problem. So it looks like the ANC is looking into this matter as well.
Yes, so we're happy that they're looking into that, because they take final responsibility, actually, as the one that leads in government, because we don't micromanage the ANC as the alliance. We allow them that space to go and implement decisions of the alliance and of the ANC. We're glad that they're discussing that. We'll look into that, but also to look at how do we reconnect with the people, the mass base of the movement? Because, for instance, we have lost strategic foothold in key municipalities, particularly the metros, which is unheard of. I mean, this used to be our major strong basis, and we want to reflect deeply on that, what went wrong, largely because the ANC, the SACP, as well as SANCO, are organized in our communities. And when we lose that kind of contact, it's something that will require serious reflection. Congress will discuss that.
But just on that issue, there was a talk. I don't know if I should call it a rumor, but there was a talk going around that it looks like the SACP is planning to contest the elections on their own. Is it true? Have you looked into that issue? Because it's not the first time that this has come up.
Yeah, it's coming up for discussions. Some provinces have resolved on it. We'll look into the previous resolutions that we have taken on this matter, and we'll give a report on Thursday as to how far we've gone in terms of that particular resolution.
But what is that previous resolution?
The resolution actually had said that we should contest elections, but explore modalities after engaging with the alliance. And in the first process of engaging with the alliance, we agreed on a process where the alliance was reconfigured through a mechanism that we call the Alliance Political Council, which was established of alliance officials to look into major issues affecting the country. And that mechanism was utilized, but that mechanism has collapsed. And that's part of the reason why.
So for the fact that the SACP is not happy with the alliance at this particular moment, there is a possibility that we will see the implementation of the previous resolution.
Yes, it will be discussed, and on the basis of that discussion, possibly a new resolution or reaffirmation of the same resolution may be taken with, of course, new conditions. But the resolution was taken in 2012.
Yeah, we've just had a conversation with the Treasurer General of the ANC, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, just before our conversation with you, and he was basically saying that it would be unfortunate if the alliance collapsed.
We don't wish to collapse the alliance. In fact, we wish to strengthen the alliance. That's our.
But how do you strengthen it if there is a possibility of the SACP contesting the elections on their own?
That's a possibility. That can also happen. It doesn't mean that if we stand for elections on our own, we are necessarily collapsing the alliance. But it means that we may have to relook into how the alliance is organized, because the alliance is made of independent organizations.
Yeah. But how is the SACP on its own sort of ensured that the alliance is strengthened? We have seen the SACP during the past months, going public to voice their concerns about the ANC, calling for the president of the ANC of the country as well to step down.
Yeah, of course. We would have raised all of those issues inside the alliance, even in the bilateral discussions, either jointly with COSATU or in our bilateral discussions with the ANC. To the extent that we ended up going public is because we felt that particularly President Zuma had crossed the line, particularly in the manner that he donated the state of this country to the control of the Guptas. Now there's enough evidence in public that proves that, and that's the point that we're practically raising. And we felt that the relationship between us and him as the leader of the movement had broken down and was affecting our relationship with the ANC. No, it hasn't collapsed. The alliance still exists.
Is it just a relationship between the SACP and an individual within the ANC?
Yes, that is why we felt that if he is removed, that will allow not only the alliance to begin to relook into itself, but also our own revolution as a whole, and the relationship that we have with the people of South Africa will actually definitely change, because he has been a major stumbling block in that relationship, and even the way in which we performed in the recent elections.
Yeah, talk to us about the contributions of the SACP during the policy conference. At the end of the conference, we had the Secretary General of the SACP, Dr. Nzimande, saying that it looks like the SACP is in alliance with the Guptas. So one would have thought that there were commissions that were aimed at looking at such issues. Were you able to raise those issues during the policy conference?
Yeah, yes, of course, but the policy conference is a different space. Obviously, there were different prepared documents. There was no issue of the Guptas, but there was an issue around corporate capture of the state.
The issue of the Guptas was mentioned on one of the documents as a concern.
Yeah, no, of course. It wasn't part of what was, it was arising as a consequence of what you call corporate capture of the state, and therefore the influence of the Guptas in that regard as an independent family. So we have discussed that in that regard, and I think that Congress agreed with our perspectives that there were a problem, they were creating divisions inside the ANC, and therefore we kind of have a situation where leadership of the ANC account somewhere else except inside the ANC and within the alliance, and to the people of South Africa, because they've been mandated by the people of this country to lead society, and therefore we can't allow individuals, in this case the Guptas, to do what they did. So he was actually referring to the point that we are not in alliance with the Guptas, but we are in alliance with the ANC. We want, when we engage the ANC, for them to take the decisions as we engage with them, not to be controlled somewhere else. And that's how we almost felt the president was largely influenced by the Guptas. And I think that, as I say, there's too much evidence now that points to that particular direction.
All right, just a quick one back to your conference. I think the most anticipated highlight is the new leadership that will be voted into. Talk to us about that. Are you also standing in? You've been very vocal, as the second Deputy Secretary General. At a personal level, how do you want to come out of this conference?
Well, Congress will decide, but largely the SACP has been a very united organization, even within the alliance. That is why, for instance, we've been able to do things in the manner that we have done them, with absolute unanimity on a wide range of issues. And therefore, there will be discussion for renewal of leadership, perhaps new comrades coming into the Central Committee, others retiring and so forth. But otherwise, at the level of strategic center of leadership, we still are coherent, and we're not expecting much change in that regard. All right. So the current leadership, is it still standing? Do you know anything? Yes, I know that, for instance, General Secretary Nzimande is available. Okay. Myself, I'm available in the Secretariat, and several others are available, all officials. So, therefore, there's not much anticipated changes in that regard. Yeah. Dr. Mapaila, we'll leave it at that for today, but because the conference begins tomorrow for the whole week, I believe that we'll still be in conversation with SACP. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you very much, Railebo. Well, Mapaila is the second Deputy Secretary General of the South African Communist Party. The conference starts officially tomorrow in Ekurhuleni. So, as he said, the party's Secretary General, Blade Nzimande, and more so everyone in the leadership currently, they're still available to stand in for, it would be for the fourth term now. For the fifth? Yeah. For the second. For the yeah. All right. All right, let's, are we taking a break? Okay, no, before we take that break, let's just keep you up to speed as to how things are looking on our roads. Rob Ben is on the line. Rob, good morning to you.